Coke.
Dude,
Oh, what is going on, guys?
Oh yeah.
Boys,
oh yeah.
what's going on?
This week in audio, episode number 29. It's gonna be a
29.
spicy one too with that.
29.
Next week's a big 30.
Oh,
Dude, that is actually kind of crazy.
What a
to think
crazy
about.
number.
the old
Thirty.
dirty
Over.
30.
Over
30.
halfway to a year of streaming.
Oh, Caden, I didn't even think about that, dude. That's actually coming up really fast.
It's crazy.
Holy smokes.
Boy, how's the chat going already, huh?
Chat?
Mike, what up?
Chat is fired up right now.
Heck yeah.
Make sure yours is unprivated. Everybody.
Yeah,
here.
everybody make sure your streams are looking
Everybody
good.
get on and click and share this to your buddies. Share it on your Facebook, your YouTube, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Get
Somebody
it going.
great stream.
We're going to have a great live
We
tonight.
got Mike Mack in here. What's going on, Mike? Tyler, what's going on? Mr. Resilient Sounds 276. We'll get into those juicy questions as we continue to go on through the stream. As you guys obviously seen in our thumbnail, we've got a special guest today. We've got the owner of Down4Sound, Mr. Johnathan Price. So we'll be bringing him on here in a second. But before we bring him on, we ask you guys to please hit that share button and tag some of your good friends that want to see this. It'll be a good one. In the meantime, while you guys are doing that, we got some little announcements to make here, okay? We got the Team Control Presser show on September 21st and 22nd in North Carolina. I highly recommend you guys go check the show out. It's going to be a big one. Heavy hitters from all over the place. Chris Lee's going to be there. James Bales is going to have multiple builds there. Adam with the audio will be there. Just a lot of heavy hitters. Caden and I
heard Jace was going to be there.
I don't mean to brag or anything, boys, but I will
The
be.
windy guy's
I
going to
heard
be there.
Blaine might be there.
Blaine will be there.
Leinster's going to be there. Josh
Let's
will
go.
be there. And Kate and I both will be there, so it'll be a good time. We're going to be slanging demos. And I'm just throwing some hints out there. There might be some fun announcements from now till the Team Control Pressure show for both of our builds. So I'm just going to throw that out there. So that'll be very exciting. Demos might be spicier at that show.
Spicy.
Time will
Mine
only
too.
tell.
Speaking of spicy, Josh,
What you eating
kind
there,
of
bud?
spicy snack did we nibbling on?
What you got today, bud? Snack of the day?
We got a smorgasbord. We
Ooh,
got
a
the Cheddar
smorgasbord.
Cheetos.
Nice.
We got the hot and spicy chicken
There they
ramen
are.
onions.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
What a
We
pool.
got the sour trolleys,
A wide variety tonight.
the raisinets,
Okay.
and to wash it down.
Oh, he came prepared,
Nice.
boys.
Then.
Nice.
Kool-Aid. Come on.
So then the last show that we've got to talk about before we bring on our guest is the King of Columbus show on September 7th, put on by your boys at Liberty Base.
Yeah.
So super excited about this one. This is a dream venue of mine. There's some great people partnered up with it to help with the drag racing side of this. So just a big deal to be at this venue.
Big things, Jace. Big things, brother.
We're trying, buddy. We are trying. Gates open at 8 a.m. Saturday morning, so make sure you guys are there early. The event will end at 10 o'clock roughly. So if the drag racing and stuff like that goes extra, then the event goes extra. But right now it's 8 a.m. Event will end at around 10. So that's super exciting. And again, if you are a stunt wall wanting to come and participate in this event, you will be parked in a special location. That way,
which is right next to the vendors.
Yeah, parked right beside the vendors. So
Right
nobody
next
Pointing right at them.
Boom.
Yeah, so that will be very exciting. And again, guys, don't forget, if we can get up to 50 viewers tonight, we're going to make sure we're going to make sure to start giving away some stuff. And if we hit 100 viewers throughout the stream, then we are going to give away a spool of LibertyBaseShop.com wires. So,
Girth.
All the girth.
You know how it is, boys.
Best
You know
wire in the game.
Yep.
Thickest and girthiest.
Yeah, Tyler put special location equals the next county over. So the thought process is where Liberty Base Showdown was at originally. If I ever to remove venues, this would be the new venue I would ever consider moving to, and it would be familiar with everybody who's already been to the show. So hotels aren't going to change up on everyone and all that good stuff. And your favorite dining areas, that's not going to change either. But with all that being said, guys, we've got a very special guest tonight. So go ahead. Let's give a big round of applause for our special guest tonight, the owner of Down4Sound, Mr. Johnathan Price.
Boom!
Yeah,
Is that supposed to be clapping too?
yeah,
absolutely.
It helps.
Firm handshakes
you know what I mean?
all around.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Well,
Thank you
listen,
for
we
being
appreciate
on.
the opportunity to have you on.
Oh yeah.
So, first question I've got to get out of the way, okay, is when did you realize that Down4Sound was going to become something special? When was that moment where you said, this is it, that big spark?
That's a good question.
I come with
When I thought it was cool, was because I was working before I started doing this. I was working like 4 different jobs at the same time. So I was working at an airport for like 10 years, like for the private side of the airport. So I was like pumping gas, washing airplanes, cleaning the toilets, like basically everything. I also had a lawn care service, and I waited tables, and I also detailed cars and jets on the side. So I was just full-time hustle mode. Like all I knew at the time was like how to trade hours of my life for dollars, which is pretty standard in like people's lives or whatever. But then this like thing or this idea of having an online website came to mind, and in the shortest story, we got that going. And one morning I woke up and I had sold something. I'm like, wait, did I just make money while I was asleep? There's something there. Like, so anyway, I thought that was a cool part of it for sure, like financially. But when I guess to answer your question on when I knew it was something special to, I guess, people, was when like more and more people started requesting stuff under that brand, like the Down4Sound name, right? Because I just started it with like t-shirts and stickers. Right. So people just started asking for, or I would take the t-shirts and stickers to shows with me, and people would buy them or whatever, and they're like, well, what is this? And I'm like, oh, it's just a website. But I wasn't selling anything at the time. I was just selling t-shirts and stickers. So I wasn't selling any car audio products when I first started. And then I did like lanyards, and then like when the idea went off in my head to actually start selling audio stuff was like, obviously I've been going to shows for a long time, and every time I would go to a show, I would start videoing, and obviously I started growing my social media following primarily on YouTube initially. So the more I went to shows, the more I videoed people, the more people came to shows to get a demo, and like it was just growing that circle. And but not every time, but most of the time when people would get a demo, they would ask like, where do you get your equipment from? And I think at the time I was running Sundown amps and PSI subs. And I'm like, oh, you can just go to sundownaudio.com and get like this, and you can go to PSI, check them out. And like I was just sending people back to them because I was somewhat partially sponsored by them at the time, so that was my part of the deal. Like that's what you're supposed to do if you're sponsored. Like I think I could go on
That's a whole nother subject.
Yep.
We'll touch on that after.
How to get sponsored in
just
car
keep
audio.
going. You just keep going. That's
You
So-
send Down for Sound an email, they'll sponsor you. I mean, sorry.
Just send it right here.
Why did it go
How
right
we
to
got
spam?
you
Yeah, right.
But anyway, like more and more people kept asking, and I would just send them there. And then one day somebody asked, and it was like the light bulb went off in my head. I'm like, man, I could be selling these people this stuff if I could just figure out how. I didn't know anything about business, like having an online store, like the really deep parts of it or whatever. And I didn't even know how to become a dealer for product or anything. So it was and didn't know how to have an official business. I thought getting a business license or an EIN number, like I thought it was super hard or super expensive or all these things. So anyway, but that's when the idea like kind of went off in my head, like, and so I figured it out. I mean, I could keep going in for a really lengthy story, but that's
that was good. That I agree with you on the part of feeling like starting a business, getting that EIN number, an LLC, etc. Sole proprietorship, you name it. For a young guy, it feels like that is the end all be all. There's no information. There's nobody talking about it. And you're not taught that in school. So it's really a big kind of
Learn as you go.
on. Yeah.
It is a big learning curve, but man, now there's a thing. I mean, it's always been a thing, well, for the past 20 years or whatever, called YouTube. And now there's so many financial things on there, like whether there's accounting or real estate or like whatever. Like I guarantee you, if you went to YouTube and you typed in, how do I get a business license, or the best way, or what does it cost? I guarantee you there's going to be a video of somebody explaining exactly how to do it, how much it costs, and all that stuff. Like, so now there's so much information out there. It's really easy if a person really wants to do it.
Right. So you started your YouTube channel in 2011, roughly. Started gaining some traction. You were going to these shows. Did you have many social media followers at that time when you said, I'm going to start Down4Soundshop.com?
No, I didn't. I mean, I didn't even have really that many. I mean, in comparison to what it is now, like I had like, I don't know, 30 or 40,000 subscribers, but I didn't have hardly any. I might not even had Instagram at the time. Like, so I was just starting to try to figure that stuff out. But I had a Facebook, my like personal Facebook page, and then I started the Down for Sound Shop Facebook page. But anyway, like, so it kind of, they all grew kind of together, but obviously it stemmed from YouTube.
Which was the Life of Price originally. It wasn't even Down for Sound or anything like that at the start.
Right. Yeah. I actually had a YouTube channel prior to the Life of Price that I was uploading all my videos and stuff to for I don't know, a couple, maybe a few years. And I think I got to like, I don't know, 15,000-20,000 subscribers, and somebody hacked my account and deleted all my videos. And like they were sending out, they were sending out like mass like messages to all of my subscribers telling them that they sucked, like just all the like just all this.
I would cry. I genuinely would cry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, okay, I had 2 instances where I'm like, I'm never doing this again. I'm quitting. One of them was with my business. One of them was with YouTube. So the YouTube story was when that happened, I'm like, you mean to tell me like I put in all this work and somebody can just hack my account and just delete it? This was before there was like 2-factor authentication and all this stuff that they have now. So now I'm not saying it's not possible now. It's just a whole lot harder than it was. So anyway, I was like, I'm not doing that. And I had my Facebook, like my personal Facebook page. I may have started my Down for Sound Facebook page, and I was just posting stuff on there, like not even videos or anything. I just quit doing videos. I was still going to shows and stuff, but the more people saw me at shows and they didn't see any videos or didn't see any YouTube stuff like anymore, they started messaging me, hey man, like what's up with your YouTube channel? When are you gonna do it again? I'm like, man, I'm never doing that again. So I can just hack it and delete it. It's so much work to put into this stuff, and it's just gone.
Right.
So and there was no way then at the time to recover it either. So anyway, so I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore.
1,000, you know.
Yeah.
I'm struggling.
Yeah.
Like, Jay, thanks for the 200 stars.
Oh, thank you. You know, the thing that becomes difficult, nobody really understands how difficult it is to grow a YouTube page. Today it's a little bit easier with
Well, it
short
depends
form
on who you
content.
are. If you can pay for followers and grow
Well,
it really fast.
let's go down that rabbit hole. I agree with you on this one. When I started filming myself in YouTube videos, I was 16.
Let's say
and
organically grow a following. Yes, it's hard.
it's very difficult. When I started, my original name was Team Dynamic Duo. Horrible name. Horrible.
Weird, man. Weird.
Yeah.
Who was the second guy?
Honestly, it was a buddy. It was a buddy from school, and we were going to do it together. He kind of faded away from it, and I was going to keep it going because, and this is funny, I bought my first ZV5 from Down4Sound, and then I got my second one from Down4Sound as well. So then I was like, oh well, I got the Dynamic Duo right there. That's just what I'll do. And as I graduated high school, I was like, I'm going to change the name. This is horrible. This isn't going to work. So then it transitioned to Liberty Base. And then from there, it's taken us 2018, 5 to 6 years to grow that channel from, I think we had maybe 100 subscribers coming out of high school to 60,000 now. But it's difficult. And yeah, you can cheat your way through it. You can buy followers and, fake your way to stardom. But at the end of the day, the truth comes out when you start making posts and you get.
Did I make a reference?
Speaking of buying followers, thanks for the 100 stars, Jay.
It has provided a lot of comedic value, though. Like,
there's been a lot of funny things about that is enjoyable.
And he has like doubled and tripled down on it too. I'm like, bro, like just quit.
He literally caught with his hand in the cookie jar where it shouldn't be.
Yeah. But anyway, so on that, like more people started like going back to my YouTube channel, like more people started asking like when I'm gonna like start uploading videos again. I'm like, well, I told them no forever, and then the more it's just like anything, the more the demand goes up, the more it makes sense to do it. Just like coming out with products or whatever it might be. But anyway, so I'm like, okay, I might need to do that again. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it because I feel like that channel's been compromised. So how about I just start over from square one, 0 subscribers. Goodness. So that's what I did, and obviously did it the hard way, and it grew fast for a while, but and I can tell you something that I learned that hurt my channel a lot was when my Tahoe went down for like a rebuild, and it took way longer than it needed to. And people were asking for videos, but it wasn't show season, so I didn't have any show stuff to upload. So I'm like, oh, I'll just do like product reviews. And I started doing that, but it got too much. So that made my view rates and my subscriber rates start tanking because people were like, oh, he's just trying to sell us stuff. But I just didn't have anything else to upload. So I was stuck in this between a rock and a hard spot, if you will. Like people were demanding videos, but I'm like, I don't have anything, but they're still asking for videos. Like, this is all I have. And then it's like, oh, well, we don't want to see him just trying to sell us stuff.
And they're coming to you for a certain type of content and you're not providing it. You know what I mean? And people out of sight, out of mind. You know what I mean?
And I know what people want on my channel, but that hurt my channel a lot. Like, and you can tell, like, if you go on our like videos now, the amount of subscribers that I have, I mean, I'm not saying it's big Jeff numbers, but it's bad. It's a bad ratio in comparison, but I learned like from that, and I know what caused it. But me being more so on now I'm more into the business side of things and not so much like I mean, obviously I go to shows and do demos, but back then what really got people wanting to follow me was me going through random drive-throughs. I mean, I could probably say that, and y'all probably have seen the viral videos of me like in the Wendy's drive-through, or me basing in traffic in Vegas, and like they have millions and millions of views. Like, so I know that's the type of content people want, but the stars rarely ever align for me to do stuff like that because my Tahoe stays in Alabama, I stay in Vegas, so we're 2,000 miles apart. So when we do get together, I'm usually flying in sometimes the day of the show, going to the show. They already have everything set up. I go there, play the truck, and I'm back on an airplane that night to go home, or maybe the next day. I just don't have time to go cruise it around in traffic and disturb people. But that's what people want to see. You acting like a hoodlum. So, but anyway, so that's why it doesn't like we don't have a ton of engagement. We're working on more demo stuff, but I know people really want to see me driving the truck through a drive-through and seeing people's reactions on the inside, stuff falling off the walls, like that type of stuff. So anyway,
you know,
a lesson learned.
Sounds like you need just another build just closer by that you can just pop in and just like more daily, like
double the headache.
Yeah, double the headache. You know, I've noticed that same thing where in the wintertime I run out of content to provide. I try to milk. You know, somebody I really admire who does social media really well is Jacob Viral.
I already knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, his content ingenious. He goes to a show and makes that one show's content last 7 to 8 months.
A year.
Yeah. It's impressive. So I tried.
He's one of our top affiliates.
Really?
Yep.
You know, I tried to do that with my content, and then I just began to realize that I was milking a dead cow for my audience, at least.
Yeah.
And so I love the Whistling Diesel approach. I don't need to post every month. I need to post when I do post. It's got to be good content that people want.
Yeah.
And then I supplement that with short form content, and then just stay really active on Facebook and Instagram. Like that was my substitution.
I mean,
and that's worked for us.
The winter is time to rebuild. So I mean, there's that. Everybody likes to see the process of going through changes and different things like that. I mean, everybody's looking for some gains when you ain't at the show.
I mean, some people, yeah, but like a lot of people that stumble across our videos are random people. I mean, of course we have our subscribers or whatever, but it's random people when you do like a drive-through video and you explode a bag of French fries or something. It's not just our audio people are going to watch that. It's going to be millions of
shorts.
Other people.
It's the short that
like a random build video isn't going to be viral for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you're, I don't know, 10% of your following will be like, oh yeah, he's doing a rebuild, but they're not going to be like, oh, look at him running these wires through his car. That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and pause this right here for a second. Guys, you are killing it in the stream right now. We have just hit, we've hit it a while ago, but 50 consecutive viewers on the stream. We haven't dropped since. So we're going to go ahead and give away a Liberty-based t-shirt. So here's how you guys are going to go ahead and enter. All you guys have to do is hit that like button and share it. We have 4 accounts right now that are live. So if you like each page, it's an extra entry into the giveaway. So we're going to set a timer for 10 minutes, let it go. And at the 10-minute mark, we'll go ahead and do the giveaway. Again, the next giveaway is at 100 views. So if you guys share this, tag some people, we really do appreciate it.
100 views, you get that girth.
You get that girth. You get that Liberty base.
Grandpa in the chat. What's going on? Orion Rules. What's going on, man?
You got loud grandpa in here.
We got a lot of people in here. Aaron Collins, but crazy to think that I've spent $18,000 with Down4Sound over the years. That is pretty crazy. Woo. That is pretty crazy.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. The money.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I was going through the drawers, and when I was in school, I think I spent from the time I started buying, so like 2016, 2017, probably 2017 when I started buying from Down4Sound. I probably spent like $8,000 through school. I think because I went through and counted them. I thought it was funny.
It's been put to good use. I appreciate it.
Sorrentino, what's going on, man?
So, what's the next question? Okay, this is the next one we can get into because I'm curious to get your reaction to it. I want to see if it's the same or not. So I've got this pulled up here. This is a picture of me last December getting my first pallet of Liberty-based wire in, okay? Little backstory on me. I started libertybasedshop.com about 2 years ago, and within the past year, we've really tried to grow it, invest more money into it, take it seriously. One of the things that people asked me to do was just create my own brand. And so we started out with wire. Thought that would be, not as much R&D into like amplifiers or something like that. But
and no warranty problems.
That's right, buddy. That's right. So I started
thinking something that they'll never ship back.
That's
it's out the door and you don't worry about it.
So this was a huge moment for me. Like the excitement levels. I'm sure you can remember the first time. Actually, I've got a picture here. You made this post a couple days ago. You were super excited about this. My question to you is, if I'm this excited about this, what is your emotions when you get things like this coming in? Full container loads.
I don't want this to sound douchey. But it's like one day in the future, as you continue to grow, like it'll be you're like, you just kind of get used to it. So like the first time a big container came in, or like, I don't know, the first 10 or whatever, was like, holy crap, this is insane. That's $1 million right there. Like, it's crazy, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it's just, so now like we do them
That's just
so
Tuesday.
often.
It's just
business.
the norm.
That's just
Yeah.
Tuesday morning.
There's nothing
Business.
juicy about that. That's just the norm. That's how.
Yeah, I just don't like. I don't want people to think that I'm out of touch with reality or anything like that. Like,
They already think that. Screw them. It is what it is, kind of.
But it's just like, I don't know. How do you? It's like when you got your first paycheck, maybe, and like you're working part time somewhere, and it's $50, and you're like, yes, this is amazing. But like as time goes on, it takes a $5,000 paycheck to make you feel the same way. Like for the first time, like you have to get.
Right.
So anyway, I'm very proud of what I've been able to achieve in this very short amount of time, and it's really cool to see it coming in. But it's something that like we just see it so often, and I mean, if it's full of new release product,
Right.
it's a little cooler than if it's just a restock order. Like oh yeah, we've seen this 10 times before or whatever. It's just like part of business, but it's cool, and I'm grateful. It's just, I don't know, we just get so much stuff in now.
It just becomes a norm, you know what I mean?
You've
It's
just adjusted.
Yeah,
the
it's
feeling of
probably like you've probably gotten multiple pallets of wire in since then.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I had another order about 4 months after that because we sold that so fast. I was like, oh my goodness, I got to get on the ball with this. And that was exciting, but I will agree to you. Like, I was excited about it coming in. Do not get me wrong, but it was like more logistical. Like I was stressing about the logistics of everything because they were different this time. So I was excited, but not as excited, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Same thing. Like, so it just grows alongside it. Like, so like my first container I was super stoked about, but I don't know. I hate when people inflate numbers. So I hate to even throw out a random number that seems too big. So I'll just say my 50th container. Like, I'm like, oh, it's another container. Like,
so
it may be 150 containers. I don't know. I just don't want to. Oh, man, I have this
now you're
thing
just
in my head.
stressing that the employees are there to unload it.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
You're saying inflate numbers. Okay, we're all on social media. How stressful, or I don't even say stressful because we don't let things like this stress us out. But how frustrating is it to see individuals and other businesses inflate their numbers to make themselves look better on social media? I know it's a marketing thing, but like, oh my goodness.
I feel like we're on the same page with that. It's so cringy to me, like embarrassing that people do this, like to make themselves feel relevant, or like, how do you live a life of constant fakeness? Like, whether it's fake numbers, or if you're faking those numbers, like you have to be faking all kinds of other stuff. It's your lifestyle to be fake. So that's why I don't know. I've seen so many businesses come and go in the time that I've been in business. Like, I've seen like them do these things, like, and even some people, like, I've been very transparent about my journey, and that's pissed a lot of people off. Some people will define it motivational, inspirational, but I've just always been an open book with it. Like, I mean, there was a memory that popped up the other day that I made a video or a post about my losses, and I'm like, I bet no other company will show you this. Like, they only want to show you the highlight reels or the good stuff or whatever. I'm like, I don't win all the time. I try to win most of the time, but it's not reality. So look, here's where we're down, whatever it was, 60% year over year last year, or the year before, whatever it was. I'm like, no other company is going to show you this, but they'll show you very strategically screenshotted stuff to make it look a certain way, and I'm like, or is photoshopped or whatever. I'm just like,
it's rough, man, and it's frustrating. Do I wish I could put like 75 boxes of wire and like 10 subwoofers in the back of my truck and be like, yeah, look at me go, like, yeah, I could do that, but I also feel dumb doing it at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the individual, I guess, at that point. Yeah, I personally just feel genuine and want to be as real as I possibly can be. And so I just don't think I could stoop that low personally. That's rough.
It is for most people, but I want to say is what makes the world great is there's so many different people and different things people like, but it's very hard for me to see that viewpoint just because I don't know. I feel like they're defrauding people in a way, and
a little bit, yeah.
Because I mean, if you're telling a person this and it's not true, like that's fraudulent. Like, so don't say you're doing $1 million a month or $10 million a month or whatever it is if you're not. Like, who really cares? Like,
At the end of the day, nobody cares.
Yeah, are you just inflating your own ego somehow?
I like the like button. I like when we get likes. You know, that's really what it boils down to. It's the feeling special, the feeling of, hey, I'm doing something special.
Fulfillment.
Yeah, right there, Caden. That's the best way to put it. Fulfillment. I feel fulfilled when people like my post at the end of the day. On a lighter note, here's the $1 million question that Robbie has commented in the comment section here. Who is louder, Jace or Price? I'm just going to go ahead and say
Jace.
Oh, hands down.
I mean, obviously.
No doubt. My Tahoe, the last time we metered it, it was like a 136 or something. So you probably
well, listen, we're not far from you. 140s, 150s, I think, on a good day.
It's all relative.
Yeah, you know.
No, I mean, I've honestly never metered my Tahoe at a show or at a shop or anything. Like, it's not my style. Like, and people are always trying to say, oh, you need to do a competition against such and such or a death match or whatever. I'm like, why? That's like me.
Okay,
That's like me telling that person, hey, you need to go run a 10K because like you should compete for. Right. I know you don't do it and it's not your thing, but you need to go do it because I'm saying you need to go do it. Like, it's stupid. Like,
right. The only time, like, I'm not, me and Caden, and this is really fresh on us. We don't
bro, really cool. That 2 liter of Diet Coke, that's diabolical.
He always keeps one strapped on.
That's me, man. Right there.
That's Mr. Diet Coke himself.
I'm down in Diet Coke. Catch
me
at a show.
Man. Okay,
that is awesome.
Love it. It's the worst thing in the world for you, but I'll tell you what. I've built 100 other like bad things in my body that I don't anymore. I'll just do Diet Coke for now.
There you go.
All right, so this question has been brought up a good bit in here, and while it's putting somebody on the spot, we're not going to do that. But I just lost it. I just cycled here. Hold on, I just found it here. Somebody said it earlier. Okay, so somebody asked, when is Down4Sound going to carry Resilient Sounds? When is Down4Sound going to carry Liberty Basswire? All these things, okay?
Jimmy said that.
Jimmy said, oh, right there it is. Bam. Thank you. I need you to say Jimmy so I could look for the J. Okay, so he says it right here. Not asking that question. The question that I have for you as a business owner, doing this for many years, and there's so many brands in car audio, how have you gone about selecting certain brands to put on your website? Do they have to meet a requirement? Is it, behind the scenes deals that you've got to work out to make it lucrative for you and the other company you're working with? What are you looking for to, in those kind of deals?
They just had to buy me some jet fuel for the plane, man. We'll get it all set up. No, I'm just kidding.
It's a buy-in of jet fuel.
Yeah. No, it's currently like we're kind of pivoting on our approach to the way that we're doing things. So, I mean, people ask me to sell their stuff all the time, but obviously we do so much Down4Sound stuff now, and it's taking over. It's crazy to say, and I'm trying not to inflate numbers. I would say we sell Down4Sound stuff 15-1, even over our top other brands that we sell, which would be Sundown, Defbonts, DC, stuff like that. So it's just becoming a clear picture painted for me of what I really need to be focusing on. And while I'm super grateful for all the relationships that I've been able to have and over the years with different brands and everything, it's just the way that business goes. Because when I first started, I was just selling everybody else's brand, obviously, and that's what I wanted to do, and it worked out great. I made these companies millions of dollars, and I mean, I did too, and so it was a mutual relationship. But I was their biggest cheerleader, and so I was basically, I wasn't working for them, but I kind of was, because I was a dealer for them. So if you're a dealer for a company, you're kind of a rep, so you kind of do work for them. And again, while I'm super grateful for it, and I'm still friends with a lot of them, and I still plan to keep a few of them around because of what they did for me in the past and everything. But as we're moving forward, I'm not looking to be a brand grower, somebody else's brand grower anymore, because I grew all these. Well, I don't want to say that I grew all these brands either, but say if you go and type in Sundown Audio on YouTube and you just scroll and scroll and scroll, see how many YouTube videos you see where I was promoting Sundown. I mean, my Tahoe alone has had Sundown subs in it for 10 years. I don't know.
Right.
Like, so
Yeah.
all the videos that I've put out there, not just me, but all the other people that have also put it out there, millions and millions of views, like, is because of me cheerleading for it. But anyway, and I guess a shorter answer is we're moving into focusing on our own brand, and the things that aren't selling well for us, we're just like moving
Pivoting away from it.
Yeah, which is, man, it's hard because some of them are great people, and it's just the way that it goes. Like, and they understand too, and a lot of them are like, I've seen it coming. Like, I knew it was going to come one day, because you can just see like how fast Down4Sound is growing in comparison and everything. So far, no hard feelings between any of them.
Good.
It's just business.
Yeah, but that's why I don't know. We've had a few people ask me over the past couple of months or whatever, but I just respectfully decline and like let them know, like, hey, this is the way we're moving forward now.
Right.
Like, it's like, and that's why. But I think it's awesome, like what you're doing, and I see myself in a lot of people, like especially one of my distributors' name's Juan Acosta. Like, is this guy? He's a Mexican guy in Del
we
Rio,
know Juan.
Texas. Yeah, it's just like he was just a super Down4Sound fan and JP fan, and he was buying all this stuff, and he just kept buying and buying and buying. And I'm like, what is this kid doing? I mean, he was just buying at regular price. I'm like, what is this guy? Like, where are you putting all this stuff at? I mean, it has to be like 10 different builds. And so I was shooting him a message. I'm like, hey, just want to get to know you and stuff. And I'm like, oh, you're like really promoting the brand. I appreciate it. Let's set you up a dealer account so you can make some money off of it, and like it make more sense for you. So anyway, he's continued to do that and works really hard. And I just see myself in him a lot, because not that I've lost that hustle, because you can probably see me online talking about Down4Sound every single day, like, and going to all these shows. I don't know of anybody else that travels to as many shows a year as I do. But if you do know, like, I'd love to meet them. But anyway, so I'm always out there and grinding. And now that I know kind of the blueprint for the business success that I've been able to achieve in the relatively short amount of time, like, I know what has worked, and I've shared 99% of it online, but I just keep doing that and keep doubling down on it. And that's my recipe. And again, I share it with everybody. But moving forward, that's why we aren't picking up other brands, is because we're going to be tapped out in our warehouse soon on our own brand. That was the other. We've been pivoting kind of quietly over the past year or two, because we had so much stock of other people's stuff. It was insane. At one time we had, I think it was $1.6 million in salt amps.
Wow.
Salt amps.
Look at Blaine over there.
So it took a while to
smokes.
Yeah, that's just one brand, one, like, I mean, obviously it was our heaviest stocking of amps, but it's just anyway, like, so we've been pivoting for a while. It just takes, I don't know, the good thing about being a very small company is you can pivot easily and make moves like fast, and you're nimble. But when you get to bigger sizes of a company, you can't pivot that fast. So because say if you have one pallet of wire and you're like, oh, this isn't working well or whatever, I need to get out from up under this. You have one pallet of wire to deal with. You don't have thousands of salt amps to deal with. There's thousands of rolls of wire. It's like, so it's harder to make a pivot or a change at that point. But anyway, so it's getting to a good point now, like where we have respectable levels of these other, let's say, top 3 or 4 brands. Like I said, Sundown, Def Fonts, DC, couple others or whatever. But so we have we've maximized our space like for Down4Sound stuff, and we still stock a fair amount of the other brands. So
we're going to be seeing another Down4Sound warehouse in the near future.
Yeah, probably. I was actually out of room at this warehouse already, but that's when I kind of realized like
you just need to be more efficient.
Yeah, I was stocked way too heavy on stuff. But I've always been a fan, and this is you might have already learned this, but I've always been a fan of having too much in stock than not enough, like because you can't sell stuff you don't have. Well, a lot of people will try to do that, but doing pre-orders or selling stuff you don't have is a disaster.
Nightmare. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
Even if you tell people like, oh, it's going to be a month before we get this in, you can make them check a box. You understand it's a pre-order. It's not going to be here until this day. A week later, they're messaging, I know you said that like it's probably not going to be here, but
Platinum V2s are coming out pretty soon, and we did the pre-order thing. It was my first time doing it, and while I've had a very good experience with it overall, with the pre-orders we've received, I've had one that has been like, man, this is rough. You know, like
I already know.
Maybe I shouldn't have, but overall, I've lucked out on this one time. But yeah, growing to a bigger scale,
imagine that times like 100x. Like instead of having that one guy, you have 100 people calling your office. Like, yeah. So anyway,
I'm good on all that. So we'll pivot into this question here in a second. Caden, do we have the wheel ready to go for the giveaway?
I can make it now. It's gonna everybody enough time.
Oh, you're good. My alarm just went off. So while you're finishing that up real quick, I'm going to go ahead and say this real quick. Me, Blaine, Josh, and Caden, we've talked about this. Josh or Blaine, was this 2 weeks ago when we were talking about the FI selling of FI?
Actually, it was 3 weeks ago. It was episode 26.
Okay, so the conversation that I had right there is I feel like there's a lot of companies transitioning into their own brands, to their own name brand product, and I see it for myself too. With the Liberty Base Wire, originally I had Sky High on the website. Once I brought my own brand of wire out, it's like everybody wanted wire all of a sudden. It was like, where were these wire sales at prior to this? You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. And now we see Sky High with Trinity Audio, the acquisition of SoundCube, and now we see them purchasing FI. We see Johnathan Price coming out with amplifiers, soon to be subwoofers, I'm assuming, sooner rather than later. Deadner, all this other things. You see Sparked Innovations coming out with their own sub. I mean, I feel like the writing's on the wall. Like, I see a lot of companies making this transition. Are you seeing that as well? Do you think that people and companies are starting to make that move to their own brand rather than be a distributor?
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I think it's different for some people, but the reason why we're doing it is because like our name is so, I don't know, it's grown so fast, it's very dominating in the space, and I want to like specify in the space that I'm talking about is a very small space that we reside in, which is the bass head kind of space.
Right.
If you talk about if you talk about car audio in a whole, it's a multi-billion-dollar a year like thing, and what I do is like not even a ant compared to some of these nothing. Yeah. So, but anyway, in our little world, like Down4Sound is growing like crazy. So, it only makes sense for us to like really double down on that. And one of my biggest reasons is, well, two reasons. The one is like you want to be your biggest cheerleader for your own baby. Like I mean, I've grown everybody else's baby over the past, I don't know, 10 years. So like it's easier to be way excited about growing your own baby. And then you have more control over obviously your product, your business, your stock is the biggest thing. Like, because if you're trying to drop ship, I'm sure you've already experienced this. If you sell stuff for other people and they're like, oh yeah, you go to their website, it shows they have 50 in stock, and the customer is asking you, I want to get it from you because I want to support Jason. And
yep.
Say, okay, cool. Say the sub, and then you drop ship it. Oh, we don't have it. Bro, it says 50 on your website.
Let me interrupt you here, because it happens more than I would ever love to honestly admit to someone. Recently, like within the past 7 months, I've like completely changed my outlook on this. I just got my own building now to where I have pallet racking inside of it to make this transition into do like hard buy-ins. And
I haven't seen your order come through yet, so there's something wrong there.
Hey man, listen, we can talk after this. I see a lot of comments in here of people wanting that Liberty-based Down4Sound.
I mean, if you want to sell the fastest moving car audio stuff in our space, you hit me up, man. You got me on Messenger already.
Well, there's a good thing. There's backstage after this. But yeah, I agree with you 100%. If you have the ability to keep things in stock, if anybody who's listening to this, and again, you know, us for when we started this live stream, it was to reach a younger audience or people that are just wanting to learn about car audio in general. It's been our number one mission. So if you've ever even thought about starting up an online business, I understand everybody's got to start from something. I did drop shipping initially because I didn't have the capital to actually buy these big buy-ins. And some of these companies' buy-ins are becoming astronomically high. So young guys getting in, it's going to be difficult. But the second that you're able to pivot from a drop shipping mentality, do the buy-ins, get the product there, believe in yourself, move the product, and make those smart buy-ins. If you can't move it, don't buy it. Don't do a buy-in, you know? And maybe that there's a place for drop shipping and maybe you can.
Yeah. When you're starting.
Yeah. You know, and it gives you a feel what's going to move, what's not going to move. You know what I mean?
You don't want to sit on your weight for too long. You want to keep it out the door. Kind of breaking it down to layman's terms for some of the other base heads out there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was the second thing was like I wanted to have, man, it was, I don't, for lack of better words, chapping my ass that like we would try to like fall back. I mean, we stocked like millions of dollars of stuff, but somebody would order the diamond in the rough that we didn't have, and we send it over to, oh, we don't have it either. Like, God dang, man, what do you have? Like, you know, what the heck is going on? Like, so it just really like got under my skin. I'm like, you know, the only way that I can fully control and take responsibility of this is like do my own thing. Like, so this way there's nobody I can point the finger at when, I mean, some people get excited like, oh, we ran out of stock on this. I'm like, that's embarrassing to me. Like, I want to stay on top of my stuff to where we always have something in stock, because again, that's been one of the biggest learning lessons for me is from a lot of other companies, like the sales that we've taken from other companies over the years, just simply because we have the stuff in stock, has been insane. So I'm like, we need to double down on that with our own brand and just keep that going. So anyway, that's been the second biggest reason of doing our own stuff, and also the reason why we stock stuff so heavy. Like we order thousands of amps at a time, and that's the reason why, is because I hate telling a person we don't have that. Like,
yeah, it sucks.
I mean, we have, I think, 250 Down4Sound amp SKUs now. So to be able to tell, like, not have to call a person like we don't have that is an awesome feeling for me. I feel like really great about that. It's more often than not that we are able to fill all these orders, but every now and then we get caught and like something with the inventory's off or whatever. I'm like, mother trucker, man, like
son of a gun.
It's one thing like that.
Quit happening.
So anyway, my team is well aware of like our goals, and I just hired a girl that she used to work for me, and she went somewhere else for about a year and a half, and she came back, and she's mine and my wife's personal assistant, but she's also over inventory now. So I'm really excited to see where the future of Down4Sound goes with her on board, because she's already made like so many reorders, and like she comes in with a spreadsheet like, hey, this is what we sold at this, and I feel like we need to order this with this 3-month or 6-month projection, whatever. Do it. Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
that is really cool. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead, stop us right there. Caden, you got the wheel ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to do this wheel, and then we'll come back in, and we'll. I got 1 or 2 more questions, and then we'll get ready to wrap this thing up.
Did we get close to 100, Jace? What was our peak?
75 is where we hit. That was
peak.
So that was exciting. We matched our highest streams record, so that was very exciting. Thank you guys so much for supporting the live streams week in and week out. And it makes it fun, especially when the chats are lively like they are tonight. So we love it.
Because I put it on my YouTube, that's why.
So, Kaden, it looks like we got a lot of names in there. Am I right?
Yeah,
we got a good bit right there. All right.
Entries.
So we'll ask our guest tonight. Do we spin the wheel 3 times, and on the third one, do we pick a winner, or do we do it one and done?
One and done.
Okay, one and done. So, guys, you know the rules. Whoever it lands on, we ask you guys to tag them, make sure they're in the stream. And then the winner can private message me on Facebook, and we will get your address and everything taken care of and get you guys your Liberty-based merch sent to you. All righty, here we go, Caden. Let's get her going here.
Quite a few names.
Yeah, there is quite a few names.
55 entries.
Yeah, and 54 of them probably say Lunker Landers.
Cricket.
Timothy Cricket, baby.
Oh,
congratulations. Congratulations, my friend. All right, so listen, Timothy, if you're watching this right now, you know what to do. Make sure to send me a private message, and we will get you hooked up with your Liberty-based merch. Thank you for doing that, Caden. Appreciate you, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Merch.
Mr. Nello Williams with the Stars Donations. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Nello.
I really do appreciate that. We've had some good interactions in here. And guys, I apologize that we're not able to get to everybody's comments because there is a ton of them. So I apologize. So we're going to keep going with the flow here. And if I miss something.
I want to touch base on how many of these big builds are throwing those JP83s. And you have that new 93 that came out. Big D Wiz, Derek Williston over there did some reviews on them. Those things are powerhouses, man.
Jillian Watts.
The proof is in the pudding. You really can't hate on them. Those things are powerhouses. And there's a lot of big builds out there who use those.
Caden, please pull up Steve Sorrentino's build.
Pull them up.
Oh, yeah, he's one of them.
Steve is one of them.
I love the color combo he's doing. Like a lot of they're all right.
Well, but just the more options, you're not only getting into car audio enthusiasts, you're also kind of hitting that market of people who personalization and show, with little effort.
But people like me that like to have everything purple.
Exactly.
Yeah, his is sick, man. That's I see that, and I'm just like, man, it's surreal for me to see, like, not just like the cleanliness of the install, but it's just the options like that we offer and people taking advantage of that, and it's just super cool to see. I mean, the same thing in my Tahoe. We changed it to the orange to do the faked off scheme, and then David Cook has the purple and green. In his, and then Duncan has purple in his, and then what did Greg do? I think he did black because his trucks got a lot of black accenting and gray or whatever, so he just did black. But yeah, it's cool to see, and
I'm a sucker for red, white.
What is the highest selling color out there?
Oh, that's a great question.
Purple is up there, please.
White.
Yeah, white paint is a very popular one, and purple is probably one or two. It depends on the size. They vary, but I know white paint, purple, and black paint, like they're all like up there. So yeah, we usually order 2 times as many of those than we do
purple
the other ones.
Baby, let's go.
Yeah.
Now, do you see yourself like going beyond the 93, or is that just kind of don't fix something that's broken per se?
I mean, you're
You know
kind of
what I
hitting an
mean?
average consumer. I don't know. If I was to say that, I'm going to say it'd be cool, but it's a nichier market the higher you go, right? So
Yeah, even the
chat.
yeah, even the 93 is, I call like the 83s and especially the 93s the 1%ers. Like 1% of the population wants it. 1% of the population can actually fit it in their vehicle like properly, and then 1% of the population can afford it. Like it's such a, like you're not talking about a 1500 watt amp that like 99% of the people can afford. Like you're talking about something that's so much, is 10 times more expensive or 15 times more expensive than that. So anyway, it's like I didn't even want to do bigger than an 83 for the longest time, because usually over when you get past an 8K, amps get really finicky and less reliable. Like it doesn't matter the brand, it doesn't matter. I mean, face it, we know a lot of these amps are made in a few different
factories,
manufacturers. Yeah, so that's the reason.
16K, just looking at it weird.
Yeah. I mean, I've had amps blow up like before I even had my own amps. Like I've had multiple different brands of amps blow up just from like I had my vehicle on, wasn't playing anything, and it just blows up. It's just part of it. Like it's electrical component. It can fail at any time. It's like my back getting tweaked. It only tweaks like when I'm not doing something that's tweak worthy. Like I'm like, at least blow out when I'm carrying 100-pound sub, like not when I'm sitting on the bed. Like,
where's my dad at? Dad's time to enter chat, buddy. This is
right.
you, man.
I'm showing my age.
I do physical therapy for a job, so I mean, you don't believe how many people tell me every single day. I'm like, hey, what's wrong with you? They're like, I just woke up and my back hurts. I don't know.
Yeah,
it just happens.
Exactly.
So here's a good question.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Blaine. What was that?
No, I was just going to talk about like his relationship with Jacob Scott. You know, who does a lot of he does a lot of your R&D. Is he the brains behind the operation of what's coming up next and what has came out?
Yeah, I don't have any brains myself, so I have to hire people that do have brains. No, it's some things we do is him, and some things we do is my idea. So it's, I don't know what kind of split ratio it would be. So yeah, it's like, because sometimes I'll think of something, I'm like, oh, I'd like to do this, like the Minimax 5-channel that we just came out with. That was one because when we used to sell Scar and selling other people's brands, you get a lot of market research on what moves and what like people like prefer or whatever. And that was something that was popular, and my whole amp game started because of the RP2000. Like it was I was ordering pallets of those things at one time. Like I mean, I think at one time I ordered 500 RP2000s from him, which is insane.
That is insane.
So, but I mean, I was doing it multiple times. We were selling so many of them. It was like my mind was blown. But once it got into like the COVID time or whatever, and he's like, I can't sell you anymore because we don't have enough to keep up with our own stuff. And I'm like, I'm sitting here like, what am I going to do? Like, oh, I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, so that's when the JP23 was born, and the rest is kind of history.
Cool.
So now here's a question for you. When you're selling your own amplifiers and stuff like that, where do you see a majority of your sales coming from? Do you get majority of your sales coming from Amazon, eBay, or Down4Sound's website? What is moving product for you? Where is it moving, I should say?
You want to know something that's it's funny in one way but horrible in another? We only sell on Down4Sound. All of our revenue comes
Holy we got to keep it PG-13 here. You're serious?
Yep. Yeah. All of our revenue comes directly from Down4Sound sales. Wow. Yes, we're in the works of like getting it launched on Jet, Walmart, Amazon, eBay, like all those things, but we really won't. I know you can get dinged a lot if you, again, it goes back to that stocking issue, and that's why we didn't have dealers for so long too, because I wanted to make sure we're taking care of our own house before we were taking care of other people's houses. So like I didn't allow dealers for the longest time because I'm like, we're barely keeping up with our own demand, much less like having a bunch of dealers selling it too. So anyway, we finally got more stock in, and like started up the dealer thing and distributor thing. And but yeah, as far as the I mean, you know, Amazon and eBay and like these other companies, they take such a huge cut out of everything. Like it never looked really appealing to me for that reason, because I'm like, if people want it, they can just buy it directly from a website.
So like, and no street corner guy, you're going right to the trap house.
Yeah, and the base
you know what I mean? It's all funneled right to you. That's crazy to think that.
But we are working on that though. Yeah.
Now, how do you feel about other people selling your brand on Amazon and eBay?
Well, that's what I was saying. Like we've already set up like a store and everything, and we're rolling that out. So I haven't thought a ton into that, like in what kind of sense it would make to have multiple people selling the same thing on the same platform. So if it was 3 years ago and I had zero interest in it, then I probably wouldn't care. But now I'm like,
I'm a few years too late. That's what it sounded like. So my thing that I've, you know, the young guy, this game's kind of crowded. There's a lot of people doing it, and it's hard to stick out, you know? And so, you know, we're blessed enough to be able to have the reach that we do right now in the social media following. So we've got a great opportunity. But one of the things that I find myself laughing about when I talk to these other companies and just see what I'm able to negotiate for myself or what we're able to do is I get shot down. Like it's, what is the way, if you ever watch Harry Potter, he who should not be named, you know, you don't say Voldemort, you don't bring up Amazon and eBay because it's like this hush hush thing of, no, we've already got these people. They won't say who it is. You can kind of make some assumptions of who they are, but like, it's just funny to me when you have that conversation. And again, it goes back to the transparency thing and people having those conversations. People are like, no, we can't even have that conversation. It's just crazy to me. Yeah. That's why I was curious your thoughts on that.
No, like I said, I've always been super transparent on everything with Down4Sound, like whether it's revenue or product we're buying or whatever. Like I don't know.
Why do you feel it's necessary to do that, to even have to explain something like that to anybody?
It's not, well, I don't know if it's so much to explain it. A lot of it, like some things I'll share on my Facebook and I'm like, you don't have to like this or whatever. This is just for me to come back and view in the future version of myself and see this and be excited about it, or like learn a lesson from it, or whatever it might be. So I've just always been transparent and shared my journey along the way, whether of course, like I win more than I lose, like, or I wouldn't be in business, but like I'm sharing lessons along the way that has gotten me to where I am. And I've just always done it. Even when I made my first sale, I'm like, oh, this is freaking awesome. I sold 2 t-shirts. Like, this is great.
It's exciting. It's a wrap.
So just sharing those things. And now it's like a journey of like good times and bad times. Like I see some days where, like I said the other day, like where I saw that we were down 60% or whatever year over year, whatever, or sorry, it was year over year for the month. I think it was last month or the month before, but anyway, but it's so, again, I share it a lot for me because a lot of people that if they already in the back of their head don't like me, if I say anything about money, and I might have never gotten a response from them or anything, like the entirety of them being like on the internet. But as soon as I say something about money, no matter what it is, they're like, oh, you're only here to talk about money. I'm like, bro, I haven't said a thing about money in a month. Like, and you only commented because like I said something about money, and it was me saying I'm down 60% or this is a memory of when I was down 60% this month. But they're like, you still did, you're so ungrateful. You did, still did over $1 million that month or whatever. I'm like, you're not getting it. It's not, I never said I was not grateful for it. I'm very grateful, but I'm just showing you, we had projections to say do 2 million and we did 1. Like that's a huge difference. And like what your goal was set to, and like you come up massively short. But like not everybody's gonna see your point of view or vision or whatever it might be. So
they're not. At the end of the day, no, but not everybody will see your perspective, your point of view, and yeah, it can get toxic sometimes with that stuff, and you got to block out those comments. They're not.
yeah, I've learned to flip it now. Like it's like I get so much comedic value out of people's like nonsense that they spout off. Like it, like it's great.
Or being taken advantage of, having somebody else, I don't want to say have like a lower stature, but less reach potential or something like that, try to use you for their own gain, and then make you be the bad guy in the situation. That those are the good ones.
Yes.
We've recently had stuff like that happen. What do you say, Caden? Probably past 2 years, year and a half. Really?
Since I've been here, I mean,
yeah. All right. So for 2 years, yeah, it's been hell
a
sometimes.
year and a half, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Josh. You need a Red Bull or something, bro.
Josh, you're looking a little tired.
I'm here.
Over there, dazing off. The windy guy.
I'm listening to the stories. I'm not just trying to interrupt. I'm usually interacting with the comments and stuff, but I hate to
I love it. Well, listen, we have been on here for a hot minute, so I'm going to go ahead, open up to you guys here. Other questions you guys might have.
Living Loud with Andy has a question here.
Okay. He's asking, any plans for new Down4Sound batteries? That JP40 for 50% off is crazy.
It's crazy.
Oh no, tune in, Andy. Kicker.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, we're not really big in the battery game, as you can see. Like we offer like a few, like the LTO 6.0, the JP2HC, the JP40. So, but it's not something that is, I guess, great for us. It's not a super fast mover. It's just something that we offered to like give people. Some people just want a matching complete system or whatever, and they're like, I want a Down4Sound battery, Down4Sound wire, Down4Sound amps, speakers, soon to be subwoofers. But anyway, I'm not sure. We have a few different ones in the works. I'll just say that, but it's not going to be a massive offering like, say, Excess Power D series batteries. They have 20 different ones or whatever. Yeah. No, I mean just the D series. Like they have a ton of different. It's almost like our amps. They have them in batteries, like all the different models or whatever. But anyway. I don't have any plans or wants to do that, but we'll still offer maybe 5 or 6 different ones in the hopefully near future. But it's not anything that I'm not looking to take over the battery or anything like that. Yeah,
there's some stiff competition out there for that one.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have like Scotty is like a great guy, and he's always been a huge help to me and mentor along the way for a long time. And not so much. I mean, he even, I guess, pokes me in the ribs every now and then. He's like, "Oh, you never asked me anything anymore over the past few years or whatever." But like, we still talk a lot and like go on vacation together and stuff like that. But once you've like, when I get around certain people, I'm just a sponge. Like I don't like, especially when I know they are way far ahead of me. Mm-hmm. Like if I get in a room with these people, like I don't say much. Like I'm listening, I'm absorbing. Like I want to be the dumbest people in these rooms, and like so I can continue to learn and become better. And that's how it was with him for the longest time. And not to say I don't still learn stuff every now and then or whatever from him or from hanging out with him. It's just when you're day one, you're totally green. You don't know anything. So your amount of questions that you have is like the ocean. But
yeah, I got about 1 million every day. I feel that.
But after you've been doing it for 6 or 7 years and you've already asked the ocean of questions, like you're down to like a bathtub. Like so, and then it may even be more specific to my particular operation or whatever. But
after a while, you start to pick up how things operate, and not everything goes that same direction, that he would to offer that type of advice compared to like the direction you're going. You might have to approach a situation differently, let's say, So,
yeah, and sometimes it is worth bouncing ideas off of each other and stuff. It's just not as often as it used to be. Let's see.
I guess it's called just maturity and growth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like you growing up in life. You don't you don't live with your parents anymore. You don't call them for like how to cook ramen noodles or whatever. Like you just learn stuff. I was just looking at somebody's comment.
That would be a call I would not
Big
want for
purples
my
in the chat,
kids.
Kyle.
It said Brian Carabinos. He said, JP, did you ever think you'd get this big in the car audio community? Absolutely not. Like it's very humbling, and I'm very grateful for it. Like when I first got started, I was very selfish in my approach, and I thought like if I could just make $1 million, like I can retire and I'll quit, like I'll be good. But like I quickly realized that what does that look like for people? I mean, $1 million now isn't a ton of money in perspective. But say you get to whatever dollar amount it is that you think you could retire on, and you're good. What does that look like? Well, usually when people retire, they travel a lot, or they do all the things that they thought they wanted to do when they retire, and then what? Like you don't have anything that's fulfilling you anymore, any challenges or whatever. So I'm like, okay, that's like I started getting close to that. I'm like, okay, that's not what fulfills me. What is making me happy, and what is like fulfilling to me? And the more like I grew and knew I needed people and help, and like team members like to help me continue to grow the company, because you can only get so big by yourself. Like you can't run a $20 million company by yourself. Like I mean, maybe if you're in a tech space or something, but moving the products that we do, like it's impossible. Like you can't do this by yourself. So you start learning that the importance of having good people on your team to make it like, so you just keep duplicating yourself. And what I've found that's very rewarding to me is when my team wins alongside me, or like for instance, they pull up in their new dream vehicle and they're like, man, come check out my new Tesla or whatever, new truck. And I'm like, I go out and check it. I'm like, man, that's awesome. Like, and they're like, I've been wanting this for so long, and like I'm finally able to get it. I'm like, man, that makes me feel so good. Like I want to say you can't put a price on that. I know there's prices all associated with that, but it's that figure of speech. Like it's so fulfilling for me to see them getting their dream houses, and like anyway, that's what's fulfilling to me. So as we continue to grow the company, I know that, and the brand, I know that we're not only helping my wants and needs are very small in comparison to the amount of people that it's helping, like not just my team, but now like with all the dealers that are like coming on board and selling it, and them being able to provide for their families and roofs over their heads as well. It's all these like things that are so far down the branch, like that it's hard to even see, but like the amount of people that you're affecting. But I'm very conscious of it, and I it's like the Down4Sound logo. Like people send me pictures of the stickers or shirts or whatever from like all over the world on different people's vehicles, and I'm like, I thought of that. Like I thought, like every time you see a Down4Sound logo, I thought of somebody being able to see it somewhere, somehow, and somebody taking a picture of it and showing it to somebody. Anyway, I thought of that, and I'm like, that's like it's a very awesome feeling to see what it's grown to.
What a rewarding
international
feeling.
Baby.
Yeah, what a rewarding feeling. And
definitely. I'll tell you really quick.
I had a guy from Iraq watching my YouTube.
Dude, I was just about to say that. Like the craziest thing for me, like then really opened my eyes, was when a guy, like he sent me a message. He's like, hey man, I got your I'm from Egypt. I got your amps, and I love your products and stuff. I'm like, man, get the out of here.
Yeah, no way.
And dude sent, I bet I could find it really quick. Guys, he sent me a picture of him sitting on a camel holding a Down4Sound amp in a Down4Sound t-shirt with the pyramids in the back. I'm not.
That's goals. That is
awesome.
Goals.
Let me see if I can find it.
Picture, or it didn't happen. You can get.
Hold on.
Yeah, he's gonna pull it right up. I gotta see that.
Hey,
like that is like.
Oh, so what do we got here in the chat? We got what? Would Down4Sound consider buying out another manufacturer brand? I'm gonna probably say no. because he's
You're right.
his own thing.
I have a for sale sign. You just call me whenever.
Memphis, Houston, what up?
Hey, listen.
homie?
In all seriousness, I'm not a part of your marketing team whatsoever at all, and I have one or two good ideas every once in a blue moon. If there is not a Down for Sound shirt with a guy riding a camel holding an amplifier with the pyramids in the background, you're missing out on a gold mine. I'm just throwing that out there, dude. Like,
actually kind of smart.
Let me see.
actually,
yeah,
trademarked right now. Actually, as a matter of fact.
What up?
Okay, check this out. Let me see if I can make it show on.
Wait, chat, can I put on my glasses?
Yeah, nobody judge.
Oh my
Wayne for
god! You
Oh
can see
my
it. There's
gosh,
a
the glare,
pyramid.
bro.
gangster. That's gangster.
That is amazing.
That's all right.
So it's got
It happened.
Jace, I'll actually send it to you in Messenger real quick.
Yes,
So
yes.
It's
let's
got a
see,
long boy
share.
too.
Got a surfboard.
Yeah, it was a 13.2. Like the sound quality amp that we came with.
That's right.
let's see.
Who ain't trying to buy a Campbell shirt, Memphis? That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I just sent it to you, Jay, so you can see that it's not all
Oh my
distorted.
goodness. My messenger is
distorted
blowing up.
You ain't wrong.
Okay, hold on. I'm pulling it up here. Let's go here and then go to studio, present. Yep. And then Facebook, share. And then, yep. Oh,
There it is.
There we go.
Hey.
Look at that.
Dude, that
And look on the windshield.
Oh wait, let's go.
No,
back.
they're on the
bug.
camels. Look on the windshield. You got a Down for Sound sticker on the front of the windshield.
That
Dude
is
drives like this.
Yeah, I'm like,
that is
Crazy.
so cool. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. That's gold
That's
right
cool.
there.
Question
blew
is,
me away.
how many subs are fitting on that camel? That's what
I
I'm
know.
saying.
I'm like, dude, I told him that. I'm like, man, because
Put a box on that camel.
Yeah, we were gonna go to Egypt last year, and then all the Jerusalem bombing stuff happened, so we called the trip off. But we were gonna meet up with them. I'm like, man, if you don't pull up on a camel with some sounds on there, I'm gonna be upset.
Very disappointing.
You're like bumping on the camel when you pull up.
Hell
two
yeah.
trails out back.
Memphis says Wall the camel.
That'd be so sick.
That is by far the coolest thing ever. That is
Right.
cool, dude. That is
Make
awesome.
a stunt wall. Make a
Must say
stunt wall on the
stunt wall on
camel.
your camel.
Yeah,
Oh,
stunt
gosh, and
wall.
they'll be
Just a
hated.
camel.
They would hate him over there too. Not
Oh,
just
you know
Everybody would hate
We
him.
could probably hear him from
Yeah.
over there, honestly.
right.
So what's next, JP? What's next besides the subs coming out? Probably going to be expanding. You know, that's just
Name of the
given.
game.
You know, that's going to be happening. What's the next goal? You know, we got the plane going on. You know, you're flying to where you need to be. What's next for Johnathan Price, and whether it be in the audio game or just in life, period? You know, what's next?
Yeah. Man, it's so the plane thing is I always tell people, I'm like, that plane is not mine. I lease it, which there's a lot to be said about that anyway, because most of the people that hate on it, I'm like, you couldn't even rent a jet. Like, but anyway, like
owning one like a big loss, isn't it really expensive just to keep it in the hangar and yada yada yada?
oh yeah, it is.
Easier
I
just
mean,
to
if,
rent it like you're
like
doing or
something,
whatever?
yeah,
Lease it?
something like that I have just to before you even fly it the first time, it like just it's called fixed expenses, like will run you $800,000 to $1 million a year. So it's not something that like that's to play around with.
Let
But
me
it-
just go ahead and say this right here, boys. Very transparent. A Liberty base is far from private jet talk. So I'll just throw
Take
that out
your
there.
airplanes.
I
But
hate
it's-
to burst everybody's bubble.
It's been like I'm always like aviation is my true passion. Like I've always been into aviation, even like it grew from when I worked at the airport, like pumping gas into all these different planes. I'm like, man, these things are so awesome. And I always wondered like how these people got to where they could fly in these planes. But you can't ask people that are flying in and like ask them their business or whatever, because my boss would probably fire me for trying to like interview each person that landed in a plane. But anyway, my own plane thing would probably be on my 2 to 3 year vision board. The deal that I have now works out pretty well with the guy that owns it, and he obviously lets us have Down for Sound logos on it with the lease that we did, and like the pillows and blankets and napkins, glasses, like it's Down for Sound branded as if it was our own jet. So it's a pretty sweet deal, and we don't have to do a lot of the fixed expenses. But anyway, so it's a win-win. So that'd probably be one of my goals for 2 to 3 years is my physically own jet, just because it's just a like I love aviation, and it's a lifelong dream of mine to have it. Not that it makes sense and ever would, like, financially, but not the further I get along, like, the more I realize that you don't have to win every single time, or things don't have to make sense every single time. I used to think that, I'm like, don't ever lose, don't ever take a loss, or like you have to win every single time. I think I might have gotten that from Warren Buffett, actually. Like, don't ever do anything that's gonna make you lose money. But I've found, like, as I've been continuing to move up, is like it's okay to lose every now and then if it brings you fulfillment. And like flying on planes like brings me a lot of fulfillment and it makes me happy. So that's how I justify it. You can, like I said, you can never justify it in accounting or on paper or whatever, but obviously it saves you a ton of time. But anyway, so that's like kind of life thing. I'm grateful for my daughter, my wife, like, and being able to, and growing the company to a place of where I can take my daughter to school, spend time with my wife, like travel a lot, watching my daughter grow up, and she's doing so good in school, being proud of her, just
not so much her boyfriend.
Yeah, not so much the boyfriend. He's on the chopping block.
At the end of the day, that's what life's all about, right? I mean, you want to be able to have the reserve or whatever, so you can go and live your life. I mean, living life's what the real point is.
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, and I found that out too. Yeah, and like the fulfillment of like other, like the people on my team, like seeing them being able to do stuff that they want to do or achieve, like as a byproduct of being.
How cool is that? You're able to provide other people, happiness in their life, and provide a whole family full.
Yeah,
that's kids
very
are growing
rewarding
up good, and now that's all a cascade effect.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very rewarding to me. And it's business wise, like I don't know. I don't want to say like I don't have a revenue goal, but
you got a revenue
it's kind
goal.
of bad.
No, yeah, I mean, as long as it's positive, you're all right.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I felt like it's become, and it might be like it can make somebody complacent, and maybe I have gotten a little bit complacent, but I had a goal board, like a little whiteboard or whatever that I was writing like yearly goals on, and then I quit writing it on there like a few years ago. I just didn't feel like I don't know, like I didn't feel like the importance of it was as high, but maybe I should start writing it on there again, because I like the last thing I had wrote on there was 20 million for like our yearly revenue, and I never hit it. So maybe it was the discouragement of it not happening that made me not want to write it again, because I didn't hit it, and I still haven't hit it. Which we know, like the economy, and you can come up with as many excuses as you want to. But I hate doing that, but like it can be reality.
Is that goal that much bigger than what you were already doing? Like, is your goal set too high?
No, we were. I mean, we've done like, so 3 years ago we did. It's been around 18 million for the past 3 years. Like,
so you're right on the cusp.
Yeah, per year. But anyway, like
goals.
There's again, there's been a lot of another thing that you can factor in is the pivoting of the company and what the restructuring has looked like, of getting away from selling other people's brands so much and moving into selling our own brand, which it doesn't look as sexy when you are talking about the gross revenue number, because the number is lower, but our price points of our amplifiers aren't the most expensive on the market. So when you go from selling, I don't even like to compare like brands like that, but say company A, Korean 8K for $2,500, and you go to selling your JP83 for $1,500, 20 to 1 over that one. It's a lot, but it used to be the other way. There's a big shift in top line revenue or gross revenue when you sell, say, 100 JP83s versus 100 company A's 8Ks.
Well, as a company continues to grow and you're buying more, when your buying power becomes greater to purchase more amplifiers stuff, you're going to start receiving a higher margin in your amplifiers just because you're buying in bulk, buying in that quantity.
So, somewhat, but what I'm trying to get at is like if you sell 100 amps at $1,500, that's 150 grand. You sell the 100 amps at $2,500, that's 250,000. So there's $100,000 difference just in that one SKU difference. Even though you might be making, yeah, you're making more profit margin on it, or you should be, but the number is less because you're selling 150,000 versus 250,000, so it's lesser. So over the past few years since we've been doing all this pivoting, it's that like the number has like been stagnant, but the amount of somewhat stagnant. But the number of Down4Sound product sales, quantities of product sales, and percentages of Down4Sound has skyrocketed. So it's a matter of time before it starts catching up and making sense because of the volume that we're turning over. But right now, since most of the prices on the stuff that we're selling is lesser of comparable models, like I don't know. It could be another excuse, but whatever.
Yeah, no excuses over here. But I see the logic you're saying, though, 100%. Well,
yes. So that kind of explains, I guess, like with the things with Down4Sound, like we've pretty much explored a lot of the brand, but into the future, we're working on marine amplifiers.
Huge market.
Yeah, that's gonna be a whole thing in itself. We're working on marine speakers, like
Down4Sound yacht coming soon.
Yeah. We live in the desert, bro, but you know. No, I know what you mean. But yeah, like it.
My boy Windy.
That was good. We live in the desert.
That's supposed to come out of my mouth, bro.
But my wife would be totally on board with that. She loves boats or yachts or whatever. I like airplanes, so I don't know how we got together.
Do you have any plans on learning how to fly, or are you just interested in being on them?
No, I have my pilot's license. I got it when I worked at the airport. But I'm not current or anything. But your pilot's license doesn't ever go bad. Like you just have to go like take a recurrent check basically. But the planes that like I fly on, like you have to have type ratings and like tons of experience and hours and stuff. So I would never. Well, I hate to say never these days, but like I don't see it in my future of being in the front seat of there. Like I would like to have the ability to like taxi, take off, and like get up to the flight levels and then go back in the back, like swap seats with the co-pilot or whatever. Yeah, because once they get up to 45,000 or whatever feet,
AI takes over.
It's pretty much on autopilot, and you're just sitting up there talking to different control towers, and you're just adjusting the course a little bit, and that's pretty much it. It's not really anything exciting, so I'd rather be in the back.
Yeah, that's cool.
That'd be awesome.
Really cool.
But yeah, so marine amps, marine speakers, what else? We're coming out some new horns, some bass knobs. We're almost finished up with. Man, we've been working on those for the longest time. It's taken like we've been messing with them for over a year.
I can remember the NEP debacle thing with all that, and that was
so basically whenever that happened, like I've been trying to like come out with we do the colors, bro.
Yeah.
So the options are going to be diabolical. It's going to be next level. So, but anyway, those we just expanded all the different deadeners. We came out with a new Rilla Shield deadener because Sundown didn't want to make the Vibraflex style anymore, and we're not selling Amper Audio anymore. So and people like the Vibraflex. It turns into if you're not familiar with it, it's like basically the deadener that you have to put on with a torch, and then it turns into a rock hard solid spot. I mean, I'm sure y'all know that are in the on the screens, but I don't know about how many people in the chat like know about it or whatever. So anyway, just different.
They should know.
On a side note about the colors, I got Cheeto fingers.
Oh, here we go.
Are you thinking about doing like a special edition color for like Halloween, or for like one of the like a sparkle edition or something that's like a little bit different or anything like that, or like a two-tone edition or anything wild?
Yeah, I thought about actually we had one tested, but the consistency of the hydro dipping for I don't know if you may have seen Jacob posted it. It was like my truck, that Dolph wrap camo look for the amp. But anyway, we were gonna do that, and we might still do it. It's just like the consistency of you having a hydro.
Well, you said it's a hydro dip
Hydro
versus
dip.
like a spray.
Yeah, because if you try to spray paint
it's like
ammo on an
multiple.
amp, it's like so. Anyway, it's not as easy like as if I don't know if we came out with like you said a sparkle amp or
Even
whatever.
like a sparkle or just like a two-tone, something that would be easy to like powder coat.
He just wants something purple with his name on it.
Hey, yo.
Hey, we got a lot of purple, bro. Like,
hey,
what you running in there, man? You need any help?
Some tar amp, you already know. Come on,
Golly.
He's the windy guy.
I gotta go. I gotta get off of here, man.
I'm losing voltage as we speak, as the car's sitting out there.
Well, when I put my first dealer order in, I'll make sure to get the purple amps in stock, and I'll get you taken care of there, Josh.
See, there you go. You already got your first sale mapped out. Look at you.
Plug.
True businessman.
What can I say? I'm a networker here.
Whatever it takes.
I love it, man. Well, listen, we've been on here a long time. So I just want to say thank you, Johnathan, for coming on and doing this. I really appreciate it. I want to open it up to Blaine, Josh, Caden. Do you guys have any last minute questions or anything like that you want to get out before we wrap this bad boy up?
Yeah. I'm just gonna spitball and say I can assume that your next show is gonna be August 17th in Hickory at sundown. And
That's
what
correct.
else after that? There's probably only a couple more shows going on after that.
Depends on who you are, but we have a lot more shows to go. Yeah, we might end up the Ruckus and Chill. But we have now that we have this assistant, like she's been actively updating the calendar on the website. So if you go to down4soundshop.com, plug.
Shameless
to the
plug.
bottom.
Shameless plug, baby.
Shameless plug.
But if you go down to the bottom, you'll see our event calendar there, and you can see all the ones that we'll go to. And it should say if I'll just be there or I am a Tahoe and team will be there. So there should be a differentiating factor there, because I know some people just want to hear the truck. They don't want to see my pretty face. They just
how rude.
Right.
So do we message her to get you on for Liberty Base Showdown next year? Is that what we got to do, or how's that going to work?
Oh, usually people pay like a $20,000. No, I'm just kidding. It's when is it?
Well, this year it was July 13th and 14th, and it'll be right around that same time.
It was on the if you.
Snap. Yeah, I already know.
Whoa.
I already know. On the same time. I know. Check out the page though. They were comparable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, if you can move it a weekend or two where it's not on the same as that, then it would definitely increase the chances. Like that's what happened to Surf City this year. I don't know how or why they did that, but I went to the Surf City show the past 7 years, and this year like they messaged me like, oh, you want to still be a sponsor? Yeah, cool. So I like sent them all the stuff, and then like somebody was upset about the amp testing. I'll just say that they were upset about it, and they were like, I bet you won't show up at the Surf City like without your security guard or something. Like, bro, and like of course he's gonna think like I'm not showing. Oh yeah, they were hot when those 93 numbers came out, bro.
That is nuts.
It was bad because it was all good. The testing was great until the 93 got tested in the same exact environment and obliterated like the plane.
Was it another amplifier manufacturer or distributor?
No, not the owner. It's just like you have the fans.
I definitely don't think the owner was coming out hot like that.
But anyway, so yeah, the guy's like, I bet you won't pull up at Surf City. I'm like, of course it'll be the year that they decide to have the show on the same show or the same day as the Sundown show, and I'm like, Sundown's like my dog, so we're definitely gonna go there.
Yeah, that's
so funny. But I already know that dude. I told you he wouldn't show up. Like,
oh yeah.
But anyway, it's again the comedic value of car audio that I get is up there.
The haters make it fun.
There's a lot of it.
Keeps it interesting. Keeps it spicy.
There's a lot of
it. Definitely. I have and I just so you know, I have about 15 more minutes if you want to use it up for anything. If y'all need to go, that's cool. But I blocked off this time for.
We gotta talk it. We gotta talk backstage.
There's always stuff.
We gotta have some fun. But Josh, anything else? Any other remarks? Anything like that?
No, I'm a fan of the color match little bass knobs that come with it, man.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get
I
you
like
taken
those
care
little
of,
things.
Josh. Don't you worry. We're gonna get you squared away, buddy. Don't you
Yeah.
worry. Caden, what about you, buddy? You got any good, juicy question before we wrap this bad boy up?
Hey, I'm just all ears right now. The more you listen, the better.
That's right, buddy. I love it. I love it.
We
Well,
ain't the same.
he's a
He gets a
sponge over
jet,
in
and
the
I get
corner.
a 2010 Hyundai Accent. You know what I mean?
Hey, you see my truck I drive, bro?
Yeah, that's true. That's the
I'm
other day.
oh, really quick. So when my truck hits 400,000 miles, I'm gonna give it away. It's at 391 right now. So
that's cool.
that's my work truck that I've been driving for the past 7 years. Like I replaced the motor in it a few years ago, and I'm scared to give it away because it's so awesome. No, I mean, yeah, there's some sentimental there, but when I told the guy like I was looking for a truck, I'm like, I don't care what it looks like as long as it has cold air conditioning and it runs good. He's like, all right. So he found. I mean, it looks like it's been beat to hell, but I'm like, I don't care. Like get
the job done.
It's your point A to point B.
I don't know. It can look a certain way when I say material things aren't that big of a deal to me. I mean, I wear a Down4Sound shirt every day, like Walmart shorts. Like I drive this beat up truck. Yes, my wife has a nice vehicle, like, and we have a nice home or whatever. But as far as material type of things or vehicles for myself, like it just doesn't do it for me. Like maybe it'll change in the future, but as long as it gets me, obviously I've been driving the same one for the past 7 years, and I could have bought a brand new truck and the same that it costs to fly somewhere, but it's not fulfilling to me. Like I haven't seen a vehicle yet that I've been like, damn, that thing is awesome. Like I mean,
2010 Hyundai Accent.
I have my dream car, but like
Awesome.
I'm such a penny pincher. Like
you already got one that's doing some bass stuff. Like,
like
another one.
Like me and my wife, we share a vehicle. Like that's just how it is. Our schedule works out where we can do real good. It's a well, she had a nicer car until she towed it, but that's besides the point. Yeah,
Our subject.
Yeah, it's a long story. But anyways, if she's watching this, honey, I love you, and your Corolla loves you too. But anyways, yeah, all my money goes into my bass rigs that are non-drivable now. So priorities, right?
Yeah.
Do you got any subs in that truck, Johnathan?
No, not currently. We had you may have seen that video too. I had the I had the 6.5s under the back seat before anybody was doing that type of thing. But I never played it. I never even play I have like 7,000 watts on my doors in that truck because they're like it's 12 6.5s and 6 tweeters or whatever. So the doors are insane, and I had I wanted to do that because nobody on the West Coast was doing doors doors. Yeah, like they're like, oh yeah, we got 2 6.5s for. I'm like, no, that's not doors, bro. You gotta fill up all the real estate.
Well, actually, that brings a great question. You were brought up over here in South Carolina, right? Greenville.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
Greenville, Mississippi.
Mississippi. Okay.
Yeah.
Now transitioning out there, already being Basehead, how different are the cultures from the East Coast to the West Coast?
If you watch my travel, you'll notice how much I go back to the East Coast for shows. So hopefully that'll answer your question.
Yeah,
it did. Good answer.
The show scene over here is just, man, it's nothing compared to, I don't know. Like, I mean, I've been to a bunch of different shows. I've been to like different ones here in Vegas, down in LA or in California, up in like the Surf City. It's like a tongue twister.
That was a tongue
shitty
twister.
show. But anyway, it's a good little show, and like the weather's always great. It's cool. Like, but as far as like a massive turnout, like there's not. Like there's just, I don't know. And as far as people like buying stuff, like supporting us coming there and setting up a booth or whatever, is just not there like it is in the South for me. I don't know if it's just that's the way it is, or if it's because my following started in the South and like kind of grew from there. That's why it's so much better in the South. But I go back to the South, South and East Coast a lot. And I mean, I don't know, what do you call Indiana? Like, I don't know what region that would fall into.
That's up near Jason's area.
Yeah, that's my neck of the
woods. I call that like Midwest, because I'm up in New Hampshire.
It's
Yeah.
up there. Great
Oh,
Lakes.
he threw his accent in there on
You
that
like
one.
that
too.
New Hampshire?
Yeah, look at it. You
Gotta
like
take
that?
it from his
That's why we keep him around.
Yeah, but anyway, that's why I travel back to the South and the East Coast so much. There's just way better show scene in my opinion.
Awesome. Well, I love it. Well, listen, guys, thank you
We
so
are the
much
Wild
again for watching this stream. We love you guys. Caden, where can we find you out on social media?
Right there. X-Boon, Caden, everything.
Awesome.
Oh, he's
Josh?
smart. He put it in there.
Oh, yeah,
Josh
baby.
GCP Daily on Facebook.
Nice. Mr. Blaine, where can we find you at? What about that YouTube channel?
YouTube Mini Trucker 88.
I
Let's
love
go.
it, man.
Got all types of that content up there.
And Johnathan, you're bigger than all of us. We already know this. But if anybody doesn't know who JP is, where can we find you at?
Personally, like Johnathan Price on Facebook, the Life of Price, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, then Down4Sound, almost all those platforms as well. And if you need anything, maybe you'll be able to hit up Liberty Base for Down4Sound stuff in the future.
Hey.
I was gonna plug this place on my shirt, but I'll hold it off for you.
Give us about 15 minutes. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Plug it for you.
Maybe Jace will do it for you soon enough.
There you go. As with most things in life, all it takes is money, man. That's all it is. There's money and effort.
It's money and effort, and you got to work yourself to death to get that money. And people don't want to put in that work. So if you're willing to put in that work, game on.
100.
Alrighty, guys, and listen, you guys already know where you can find us at Liberty Base on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all social media platforms pretty much. If you guys want to follow me personally on Facebook, you can follow us at Jace Fennell. And with that being said, guys, we will see you guys next Wednesday at 7 p.m. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Sharp. Peace.